Good morning. It's 2:37 on Thursday, November 20th. Um, it's time to get to work. We're starting the day off very early today. This is kind of a typical, actually atypical time that I start on the weekday mornings when I do drive. Generally, I try to get out the door by 2, but today I got a little later start, which isn't too bad. We should be fine. I have 4 reservations lined up so far this morning, and we're going to make our way towards the downtown area and see if we can get a ride before the first reservation. And I can show the reservations here in a second. I make this turn. So they're all Uber. Here's all the reservations. First one, oh, I had a bunch of cancellations. Dang, my 3:30 canceled. That's a bummer. Let's see. Yeah, my 3:30 canceled. That sucks. Well, I lost one, but that's all right. We'll get down in the downtown area, and I'm sure we'll make up for it with some other hotel pickups and get them to the airport. Um, but yeah, so we're gonna get started here. I'm gonna make my way that way and see what happens. I did get a ride offer early before I even left the house. That was going towards the downtown area, but I wasn't ready to leave at that point in time, so I missed that one. And I missed my normal routine customer that I usually pick up at this time, just because I got a late start. But that's the way it goes. But we'll be able to recover, I think, just fine. So basically, we're going to start off today driving right now until about 9. Then I got to go to work, and then I will come back after work. So this is going to be a 2-part video. But I figured I would just kind of do a little early morning video just so you can see what the early mornings look like and ride quality and all that other good stuff that comes along with it. And yeah, so that's what we're going to do. And on the mornings, I start out with a little coffee and not the monster. So we're going to get started. I think I haven't had a sip of coffee yet. There we go. Let's fix this. That. It is raining, so I'm hoping that helps with the increase in rides this morning, especially later on this morning, with people going to work in town. That we get a little more activity when it comes to that. Yesterday, or not yesterday, but the other earlier in the week, when it was raining, it was booming downtown as far as ride requests. Unfortunately, I was already home at that point in time, getting ready to go to work, because I know I've mentioned this a couple of times, but we're a 1-car family, and so obviously this vehicle is it, and I have to respect my wife's wishes of when she needs the car. And on Monday, she wants the car by 5 so she can go to the gym, and I have to come home come home a little bit earlier than normal. I only get a couple hours in, and when I was sitting at home drinking coffee, really getting ready to leave to go to work, it was booming on Monday morning with surge and lots of ride requests, and that's because it was raining. And I think the people that walk and ride their bikes to work weren't having that on Monday. But hopefully today is a similar situation, because it is currently just starting to rain here, and I'm hoping that works out for us. Anyway, I'm gonna make my way here to the freeway, get going downtown, as normal, provide updates and all that good stuff. As far as a goal for this morning, let's think about where I got with. We can do like 90. I'm gonna say $90 right there. Boom, 90. $90 for this morning's goal. If I can get 90 out of this morning, I think that's going to be a really good morning. And then of course we'll add that into what we do this later on this afternoon. So that's the goal, $90. I'm gonna get cruising here on the freeway. I'll be back here in a little bit with some updates and walk you through my morning. And I'll see you here in a little bit. All right. All right, made it to the downtown area. I did get a ride offer. Went and showed up. They no-showed, canceled it. Of course, it comes right back because I was like sitting right there when I canceled it, and the offer came right back to me. But I was like, no, I'm not waiting. I've already waited long enough. And then, oh, you know what? We're gonna do that one. We'll do that one. Yeah. Let's go get Doan. That's kind of what we're here for, is to do these airport runs, especially at this hour. But I've been getting a bunch of shitty offers, just like one of them was, an 11-mile drive to go pick someone up to go 2.9 miles. I was like, that is ridiculous. Again, how am I the closest person? But at this hour, I might be. I mean, I've only seen one other Lyft driver out so far this morning down here, driving around. So it could be some slim pickings as far as drivers goes, but we'll see. This is like that transition period between people that are working night and they stay out for the bars, and then like me, get up early and come out at this hour, to kind of catch all these airport rides from the hotels and stuff down here out to the airport for their early morning flights, which I like to do because, one, they're good customers. They generally always tip, and there's no drama in the rides, right? They're not drunk and doing whatever. Like, there's another crazy ride, 14 miles. I'm gonna drive out to Davis for that. Um, so that's just kind of, they're usually just get in the car, sitting there, they're quiet, get there, thank you, they get out, they leave. It's perfect. I like those rides. But anyway, this will be the first real good ride that we've had so far this morning, is this one to the airport. And generally my threshold on an airport ride is about $10. Although I'll do, if I'm out in the Thomas, I'll do them from Natomas, and they're usually like in the $7 to $9, $10 range out there, just because it's so much closer to the airport. It's only like 3 or 4 miles to the airport, which is fine. I'll do that. But from downtown, I'm looking for like $10, and this one's just north of downtown, so we're gonna be okay on this one. That's why I took it. But yeah, so we're gonna get our first ride in this morning, and we'll go from there. So with that, I will be back here with another update here in a little bit. All right, I'll be back. All right, quick update. I'm gonna say the ride quality's been pretty shit today. Just not good rides. I'm getting a lot of shit rides. Just rides that I have to drive 10, 15 miles to go pick someone up, stuff like that. Actually, we can look at the ride history, trip history. Anyway, it's just has not been a really good morning so far, but we'll see. I got those 2 reservations that are coming up, and that'll help out. But you can see where we are right now on the goal. What do we got? 49 $49. So we're halfway to the goal. I have those 2 reservations that'll definitely help out, because those are both I think $12 or $13. There's one for 13 and the other one's for 14. Oh, there you go. There's my 2 resis right there. So what's that? Another $27 on top of the 40, whatever I said I had right now, 49. So yeah, we'll be close. We'll be very close to hitting the goal. I just need to get a couple good, maybe good airport runs in between now and those, when those reservations hit, and that'll help out. Again, I like driving at this specific time just because, you know, there's no traffic. Um, there's not a lot of competition. I think it's one of the reasons why I get thrown a bunch of shit rides, because there's just no one around and no one that can serve the areas. Um, you know, giving someone a ride, which is fine. I mean, you know, I have no problem declining those crappy rides and doing that. But what I'm looking for ideally is just quality, good paying rides, specifically out to the airport, where I can come back and forth and just do shuttle runs to the airport at this hour. This last guy I just picked up and dropped off, picked him up and dropped him off at the train station. Those are ideal. They're just simple rides, and they generally pay decently, except for what you've seen on screen. And they do, you know, they're quick, which is what I want. But anyway, that's where we are right now. We've got several more hours. What is it? It's 5 o'clock right now, so I got my last reservations at 8:40. I don't know if I may cancel that one. We'll see. Only because that would get me, I'd get to work a little later than I would want to. Because I still have to go to the day job today. So we'll see. If I can get a ride that basically supplements that $12.96 between now and then, I'll cancel that one. And you know, then I'll get basically break even on that. So we'll see what happens here. And Lyft has been doing this new turbo thing where they're adding these percentages on top of you know, what's going in these areas. I think it's hilarious that the downtown area where I am at right now is typically like one of the lowest areas that they have the turbo. It's all the outlying areas, which I guess kind of makes sense, because they basically, I think they're figuring that people on the outside are going to come into the downtown area to go to work and stuff, which is true. But that's a one-way trip. Once you're out there to come in here, I don't know why you'd go back. I'm sure some drivers do, but I wouldn't do that. Just as I didn't go take those 2 rides that were going out to Rancho Cordova, which is out by where I live, because once I get out there, I may not get a ride that comes back this way. And if I do, it may not be worth my time to take it. So then I'm deadheading it. Am I going to deadhead it back, or am I going to eat a bad ride to come back out here? It's a toss-up. Anyway, I'll be back here in a little bit. Probably the next update will be when I wrap up this morning session, or just before, and we'll see how this plays out. But right now, I'm hoping that things go my way and we get some good quality rides here between now and 8 o'clock. So, all right, we'll see. All right, I'll be back. All right, quick update here. I ended up canceling my late reservation, as I thought I would, and I got a better ride. Just did a ride, finished it, that kind of made up for that one. So we're all square. So right now, what I have left is 1 reservation to do, and that starts in like 40 minutes. So right now, what I'm going to try to do is to stay kind of in the grid, do some rides. They're probably going to be shorties. But I just kind of want to stay close. I don't want to go too far out because I had to come back for the reservation. But overall, the morning's been going pretty well. I think we're going to make the goal for the morning run. And yeah, so we'll see. Right now, it's just kind of been an off morning as far as rides go. I would have to say with Lyft, I mean, I've done 4 rides I think I've done with Lyft. Let's see. What have I done? Yeah, so there you go. 5 rides, 35 offers. Is that right? 36 offers, 5 for 36. And I mean that's a pretty heavy rejection rate right there for me. But again, they've just been crappy rides. Um, Long distances and stuff like that, as I mentioned earlier. Anyway, that's kind of where we're at right now. I'll come back and wrap up the morning um, with some numbers so you can see what I did there. And then, of course, after the day job, I'll be back out again tonight to do some more driving. And we'll see how that plays out. There's really nothing going on in town this week as far as events. Probably some club action, maybe. Smaller venues, but nothing big, which is probably going to impact tonight. So we'll see how long I drive tonight. I'd like to probably stay out till like 8 or 9 o'clock, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. If it sucks and it's slow, I'll bail and just go home. Because again, time is money, and my time is worth money. So I don't want to waste it out here if I'm not getting anything good. But that's going to be the plan for right now. So hopefully get something here shortly. And we're going to try to stay in town just to maximize time as far as getting close to the reservation time that I have, which again, I think is at 7:30. I believe it is. Yeah, 7:30. So of course they're going to want me to be online at 7, which obviously I will be. But I also think that they kind of throttle rides a little bit when you get closer. Like they pull back from giving you rides because they want you to be available and get to the reservation on time. So we'll see. All right, I'll be back here in a little bit. Alrighty, that's a wrap on the morning session. As you can see on the screen right now, we hit the goal. Actually, we did much better than that because there's the first half of the day. So I'll update the total up here at the top. And then, yeah, so it worked out pretty well. Not bad. Probably, I don't know if I would change anything that I did this morning. There were a couple rides that maybe I should have taken and I didn't take. They were basically paying me to go back in town, but they were not like really good rides to do that. But at least it would have been something to get paid to go back in. And there was 2 of them that I probably should have taken and I didn't. But as you can see, 6 for 20 out of Uber today, and I think what we say was 5 for 36 out of Lyft. So not a lot of good offers coming through, as I said earlier. But anyway, that's going to do it for the morning session. I will be back at it here later on this afternoon, and we'll drive into the early mid-evening time frame. We'll see, and we'll see how that goes. All right, so I'm gonna cut it off here, and I'll be back here in a little bit. All right, see you then. Well, good afternoon. It is currently 4:35, and it is time to start the afternoon drive session for today, Thursday, November 20th. I'm wrapping up my charge. Matter of fact, it's just about done, which means I'm going to have to jump out of the car and unplug, and then we're going to drive out of here. I got to pay to get out of the parking garage, and then we'll get started with today's afternoon session. Hopefully, we're just going to be picking up rides and see what happens. No real agenda. Again, not a lot going on. Hold on, I'll be right back. You should be able to hear me, though. There's no real agenda for tonight. We're just going to try to get as many rides as possible, good quality rides, keep the wheels moving, and most importantly, make some money. So that is the big plan. But right now, we need to get out of here. We'll turn these on right now, and we'll get out of here and get rolling. Yeah, I think there's some club stuff going on. Which one? I think I'm gonna do the airport one, and we'll pass on this one. Oh, I didn't. Oh, I was gonna say, did I not get that? There should be some club action. I think there's a couple like concerts at some of the smaller venues tonight. But you know, we'll see. I'm not going to stay out that late, so that really won't matter. I do think I'll probably try to take advantage of the airport queue as much as I can. I think tonight. Um, Recently, I've been having some really good luck just getting in and out within like 30 seconds. It's been great. So if I can do that again tonight, that would be phenomenal. So we'll see what happens. Oh. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to accept this one, and we're going to cancel this one. Oh, no. Nope. Cancel. Cancel. All right, let's go get Eric. I don't mind canceling on Lyft. I really don't. I've got no agenda with them, and that's no problem for me. All right, hold on one second.
Please insert your parking ticket.
But I'm gonna take that $13 ride to the airport over that other one any day, because why not? Going the same.
Pay for the parking fee. Please press the receipt button to issue receipt.
I mean, that's a no-brainer in my book. So we'll see what happens with the airport queue once I there we go. Once we get this guy dropped off. Are you going? What are you doing? Come on, dude. People get so confused. Anyway, good start to the night with this airport ride. I'm pretty happy about that, and we'll see how this plays out. I'm hoping for busy night, consistent, good trips, and all that good stuff. So we'll see. All right, I gotta navigate out of here and go get this guy and deal with the traffic that's going on right now. All right, here we go. All right, so let me go get Eric, and I'll be back here and with the updates throughout the night, and yeah, we'll see how this goes. Thursday nights are usually pretty decent for me, and I can usually string together some good rides. So I'm hoping that continues with this Thursday. So we'll see, and you'll see too. And I'll be back here in a little bit. I'm just trying to get matched to this ride, but I wanted to fill you in. I got an email from Lyft, and it says that your driver account has been flagged by riders for poor passenger experience. Please review the following. Too many cancellations. Sometimes canceling a ride is unavoidable, but completing the rides you accept as often as possible helps to keep your account in good standing. On average, our highest earning drivers only cancel 4% of the rides they accept. Passenger feedback like this can lead to additional suspensions or permanent deactivation depending on the reasons flagged. Consider checking out the Learning Center for info about how to make improvements. This is the second time I've gotten this email, and I think my cancellation rate is probably like at like 9 or 10% right now. And I had a feeling I'd get another nasty gram, but here's the funny thing. You know, when you go and you look at your feedback and rewards, here's your feedback. I mean, I got a 5.0. I'm excellent. I don't know where this feedback's coming in that they say that this happens, but yeah, it's not on here, which just tells me that they're kind of full of shit. They're just, Lyft is mad at me. The passenger isn't. I don't even think the passenger can provide feedback when I cancel the ride on them. I could be wrong. And if I am wrong, leave a comment down below. But I just think it's funny. Lyft's the one that's pissed off at me, not the passenger. And I've had, you know, picked up people where they were like, oh yeah, the driver canceled me, when they pulled up and then canceled the ride and drove off. Now, as you saw in the video, I wasn't even close. I wasn't even there. And I made the switch. And of course I said that I, you know, accepted it by accident, but whatever. But the fact of the matter is that Lyft's the one that's pissed off at me. You know, I got no allegiance to them. They're not doing anything for me. Matter of fact, right now, they're giving me mostly shit rides to begin with. I mean, look at my acceptance rate with them is like maybe 4%, 5%. So it's not like they're doing me any favors. So why am I going to do them? If something better comes along, yeah, I'm going to fricking take it. And too bad, so sad for you. You know, I have no allegiance to Lyft. I do have some allegiance to Uber because I do kind of like my status with them. And quite frankly, they typically pay better. And I typically get more rides from them that are quality rides than I do from Lyft. And that's just the way it goes. So if I'm going to play favorites, it's going to be with Uber over Lyft at this point in time, unless Lyft frickin' changes their tune and starts giving me some quality rides again. Because I think Lyft has been slashing their driver payouts and their rider costs, you know, the fare to the rider, to be more competitive. But that didn't do me any good. So why am I going to go out of my way for them? Anyway, I'm here in the queue, hanging out, hoping to get a ride out of here pretty soon. I feel like maybe I made a mistake and should have just bailed out of here right away and went right back to into town and deadheaded it back, but we'll see. So I don't want to wait here forever. So I don't know. We'll see how this plays out. There's some flights that are delayed, other flights coming in, so it'll be hopefully not too long before I get out of here. And then I think I'm just going to bang around in town unless I get another good ride back out here. But we'll see what happens. All right, just wanted to give you an update, and I'll be back here in a little bit. All right, quick update. Right now, back in the queue, I took a ride to Natomas. It's like 6 miles, 10 or $11, something like that. Good ride. Was able to come right back here in the queue. But the key was when I drove out from here, taking the passenger to his house. I drove through a bonus zone over by where the Amazon distribution center is here close to the airport. And I picked up the 70% bonus, flash turbo bonus that I've got on here right now. And there you can see right there on the screen. So I was able to go drop him off, come back, still maintain the bonus because I didn't get any rides in between when I left and came back. So it just stayed on. And now that I'm in the queue, all the rides that are coming in from the queue, even the trip radar rides for Lyft, are stacking the 70% turbo bonus on top of whatever the fare is. So for example, there's been some rides that have come through going towards home that are like, 23 miles or something like that, 25 miles, but the fare's coming in at like $47 because of that 70%. So I think what I'm going to do is stick this out. I'm going to hope I get a ride that's going my direction towards home, whether that's, I would even do Roseville, Granite Bay, Folsom, Rancho, El Dorado Hills, anything like that that's going my way. I'm going to try to get it here on Lyft. I'm going to punt on anything that comes from Uber at this point in time until I lose the 70%. If I lose the 70%, well, then it doesn't matter. I'll figure it out. But I'm trying to nail the 70% bonus on whatever I'm getting, just to take advantage of it. So that's where I'm at right now. Hopefully I can pull this off and get a good ride that's going in the direction that I want it to go. And then, well, I'm definitely not going to Woodland. That I can take advantage of this. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, I'm going to hang tight here, play this out, and I'll be back with another update here. Well, that's a wrap. I'm not to the garage yet, but I did just drop off my last passenger, and I was able to score a pretty solid ride. They got me in here to the South Rancho area, which is pretty close to home. So that's going to do it. I'm going to wrap it up. Plus, it's been a long day. Started at 2:20, 2:30 in the morning. Worked, drove tonight. So, which is kind of typical for a Thursday for me. Tends to be one of my longer days, just because I like to drive in the morning and get those rides. But Yeah, pretty solid. I will say this. Tonight is just more confirmation. Well, let me back that up. I generally don't drive out of the airport queue on Thursday nights. I'm usually in town, driving in town because there's something going on or there's, a little more activity. I don't really know if there was activity tonight or not because I wasn't there. And I basically did um, four total rides tonight, I think, which is not a lot considering. And it just, the airport queue is just not a really efficient use of time, any way you look at it. I mean, I sat there for, 45 minutes to get this ride, and sure, it was a 30 something, $30 plus ride. But if you think about the time that it took me to get it, plus the time it took me to drop him off, I mean, it's not, on a dollar per hour basis, it's below $15 an hour, which is not great by any means. So the queue is tough, and I was there thinking about it, and I was like, God, I should have just bailed on the queue and beelined it out of there and went into town to see what I could find, see what I could get ride wise in town. More than likely there's going to be a lot of $3, $4 rides, which I don't want to do. But is that better to go see what I find there than just sit doing nothing in the queue? Because again, if the wheels aren't turning, I'm not making money. And how do you use your time? What's the most efficient way to use your time when you're out there? And some days it is the queue, and I think tonight really was not. And but I don't know. There's that unknown factor because I didn't drive in town. But anyway, you can see the numbers on the screen for Uber, 2 rides for 28, and then with Lyft, that's really 1 ride. So I only did 3 rides tonight. And there you can see the 39.13 was the last ride, solid ride. So 3 total rides tonight. Again, not the most efficient use of my time, but an additional, what is that, 39, 67, additional $67 on the day with those 3 rides. So I mean, that's not bad. And I'll update the total up here. I didn't set a goal for tonight, and I don't know why I didn't do that, but I'll show you the total for the day up here right now, so you can see that. Overall, not a bad day. Not my best Thursday I've had. I've had better Thursdays, but it'll do. Let's see. Going forward, I'm not driving tomorrow night, mainly because I'm going duck hunting on Saturday morning, and I have to get up early to go do that. So I'm not going to drive Friday night. I will. I'm planning to drive Saturday, depending what time I get home from hunting, and if I can get a nap in. If I can get a nap in, I'll definitely go out Saturday. More than likely, we'll record that, and then that'll do it. Actually, I'll be driving Monday morning, but I'm not going to record that. But that'll pretty much do it until after Thanksgiving. So, yeah, so that's my plan so far for the next week or so. In the meantime, if you've made it this far in this video, please hit the like and subscribe button, and leave a comment down below. I'm curious to know if any other drivers have gotten that email that I got from Lyft for the cancellations, because I'm wondering if that's just kind of like a standard blanket thing that they send out when your cancellation rate gets up pretty high, just to kind of scare you into doing something to get it down, which is basically just accept a bunch of rides and not do any cancellations, and it's going to come down, which I may do. I may spend a week just doing all Lyft rides just to stack up a bunch of rides to kick out those cancellations to get it back down, in the 3 to 4% range. I mean, my cancellation rate with Uber right now is at 3%, and just a week ago it was like 0. So It's doable. Is it important to me? Nah, not really. But you never know. I don't know. Maybe they throttle you back because you have a higher cancellation rate versus someone that doesn't. I don't know. That's pure speculation on my end. But leave a comment down below if you've gotten that same email. I'm curious to know. And what did you do about it? Did you do anything about it, or did you just let it ride? And with that, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video, and thanks.